So my name is Steve Dulake. I studied here in Southampton a long time ago, in 1990 in fact, and I studied a master's program in economics and econometrics. Coming to Southampton was the first time truly I had sort of left home and left London. So for me it was my first first opportunity or experience to sort of stand on my own 2 feet. So it was actually a really, in addition to being quite hard work from an academic perspective, it was a really life-changing experience for me, and one that I look back on very, very fondly. Fortunately, I'm so old that when you went to university in my time, you actually didn't pay your fees. They were all paid for by the government, which they're not today, as we know. And you also received a book grant, and depending on your family means, you may or may not have received something towards your cost of living as a student. And I've always felt it really important that those talented school children that are perhaps suffering anxiety, either because they don't have someone to talk to about university or they might be put off by the cost. I think it's really important that if we're able to recognise that talent, we're able to alleviate that anxiety and help those people flourish and develop. And so, I remember having a coffee in Canary Wharf near my office with Richard Wilson from the Office of Development, and we sort of spoke about all of these things and really just spoke about giving a single student a stress-free time at university to focus on their studies, to focus on their personal development, everything that your university years can offer. And so that has become the Ignite program today, and I'm really happy to have been involved at the beginning, and I'm still very happy to be involved today. In terms of my journey post-university, as I mentioned, I studied I followed a master's program here, and from Southampton I went to join the National Institute of Economic and Social Research, which is sort of quite a well-respected think tank. And having studied at a postgraduate level, being surrounded by quite bright people, quite academic people, for a long time I thought that I may stay in academia, and I did think about pursuing a PhD. I thought about possibly doing that in the US, possibly doing that back in London, and I'm not quite sure why I pivoted into finance, but I did. As a manager of a group of people, to the extent that I've been involved in Ignite and sort of being able to nurture and develop younger people through their university years, we have the same thing in a big company, an investment bank. We have people that join us as graduates, and I'd like to think I've done some of that along the way too with our younger people at JP Morgan. So yeah, what advice do I have for those graduating today? Strangely enough, I was asked to present to a lot of our younger people in the company in New York just recently and talk about the things I'd learned through my career, which I felt were important. I think number one, be yourself. Number two, know what you don't know, and don't be afraid to reach out and ask a question. And it's actually, I think one of the challenges that young people have when they start their careers, if they feel that they've landed in sort of the wrong spot, or they feel like there are some issues, sometimes having a sort of difficult or challenging conversation doesn't necessarily come easy to people. I actually would say that if you can find someone that you can adopt as a mentor, tell them how you feel, but definitely have that difficult conversation. Don't shy away from it. I'm very proud to have been involved and still be involved with Ignite, and I'm not alone. There are obviously some other very generous alumni that's made the programme what it is today, and I have been practicing my speech a number of times, and on occasion there's the odd crack in my voice, and so the last time I practiced the speech that didn't happen, so I'm hoping for a fluid and clear delivery to everyone. But I don't often talk about myself, and sort of thinking about accepting the award and thinking about what I will say to people today has definitely opened up something in me. It's definitely tapped into something, and anyway, let's touch wood. I get to it all right.